If you want to talk about the Steelers, you're in the right place. Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. Mitchell Renz here, ready to break down some NFL free agents that I think could help the Steel curtain out a little bit. And I got 4 players that I'm ready to break down. The first dude, cornerback Brian Poole, who played a little bit last season with the New York Jets. The biggest issue was this. He ended up getting hurt, finished the 2020 season on the IR with a shoulder injury, but I'm also going to go out and say this. He's the best slot cornerback on the market as it stands right now. For whatever reason, the NFL isn't that high on him, but I'm also going to say this. The NFL's not really all that high on a lot of cornerbacks this free agent market. Now, maybe some of these guys are asking for a little bit more money, and if I was Poole, I would ask for money because, let's face it, over the last 3 years, you're looking at one of the more reliable slot corners in the National Football League. And for Pittsburgh, you decided to move on from Steven Nelson, a bad relationship there. If you could fill the role with a guy like Poole, that rhymed. I think that'd actually be pretty dope, right? You got 44 tackles, 2 interceptions, 7 pass breakups, and again, limited time. He's only 28 years old, but I will say this. You got a Steelers offense that scares me a little bit. So if you can invest a little bit more money in that defense, I do think it'd be a pretty good thing to do. Let's go to the safety position now. I got Bobby McCain, who was released by the Miami Dolphins last week. He's an average safety, and that's okay, right? However, Pittsburgh does need to have a little bit more depth, I think, at the safety position. And if you're looking for another player who could maybe potentially be a solid special teams player, McCain could be an option. I also don't want to throw out the whole, the last time the Steelers got a Dolphin safety, it turned out to be great. Minkah Fitzpatrick is a lot different version than McCain. The biggest reason, though, why McCain the Dolphins decided to move on from him, it was the money aspect of it. He's still a solid player, could offer a little bit depth here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he's only 27 years old, right? 46 tackles, 1 INT, 5 pass breakups. McCain can do a lot of solid things, but again, maybe it wouldn't be the number 1 option here on this list. Let's go to cornerback that you guys have heard of, that he was on the team last year, and I'm going to bring him up again. Is there a way where you guys can just squash the bad blood? Because this relationship did not end very good. I mean, let's just face it. It just didn't end well. However, what if you're able to be like, all right, well, let's come to agreement. Let's figure out what both sides need to do. Let's come to a dollar, and then you go from there. Because I'm telling you what right now, Steven Nelson was a good fit in this Steelers team. And if I was Nelson, I would actually want to come back to Pittsburgh because I'm telling you right now, the Steelers were able to hide a lot of Nelson's, we'll say, weaknesses because of how good that defense is. They were allowing him to be the player that he needs to be able to be. That's why Steven Nelson is on this list here, and he's 28 years old. He had 48 tackles last year, the 2 INTs, the 9 pass breakups. This is a player that I actually think Steven Nelson would be dumb to not go back to the Steelers. Let's go to the last player here on this list. Let's say you're looking for an edge rusher, right? I'm going to hit up Ryan Kerrigan because there's a lot of people out there that are disrespecting this man. And if you're telling me right now that who could be a cool little, we'll say, Bud Dupree replacement, I'm going to say Ryan Kerrigan because a lot of people are sitting there talking about Melvin Ingram, Justin Houston, and maybe I would rather have those 2 players because, sure, Kerrigan's production has dipped the past 2 seasons. But if you're telling me right now he can be a rotational piece where all you're really asking him to do is to be able to go north and south and get after the quarterback, that's where he excels. 17 tackles last season, 5.5 sacks, and I would tell you right now, he would probably be able to put up the exact same amount of production on a Steelers defense. Now, sure, Washington might actually have a better front and might actually have a better D overall than somebody like, the Steelers, but they're very, very close. 32 years old, just some players to keep in mind. So now that you guys made it to the end of this video, let me know. Name a free agent the Steelers should sign in 2021. Go down in the comments section and let me know.